Today, America, some shocking developments are unfolding right now, from breaking political battles to major events across the nation and around the world. These are the stories everyone is talking about. Stay with us. We begin with President Trump. F-16 fighter jets intercepted multiple aircraft violating temporary flight restrictions near Trump National Bedminster in New Jersey. NORAD confirmed the interceptions as Trump later boarded Air Force One and returned to Washington, D.C. for the week ahead. Meanwhile, a growing controversy in women's basketball. Thousands of people are calling on Reebok to drop Dijonai Carrington following her incident involving Sophie Cunningham. The backlash is spreading online, with critics demanding the brand take action. Meanwhile, Spencer Pratt is facing attention online after making harsh claims about Abdulrahman Mohammed El Sayed. Pratt accused him of pretending to be a victim while benefiting from wealth, including alleged property ownership. The comments are now sparking strong reactions online. Meanwhile, a teen burglary crew accused of nearly 80 break-ins across California's Bay Area is behind bars. Surveillance video allegedly shows suspects breaking into cars and using stolen garage openers to enter homes. Police say 4 juveniles stole guns, vehicles, and valuables before detectives recovered roughly $250,000 in suspected stolen property. Also tonight, a Democratic feud is heating up, and Senator John Fetterman is challenging Michigan Senate candidate Abdul El Sayed over his association with Hassan Piker. Fetterman warns El Sayed that winning a Democratic primary is very different from facing voters statewide as their personal attacks escalate. Turning to North Carolina, Asheville is facing a deadly wave of retaliatory violence. Police say a downtown shooting left 2 people dead and 7 wounded. Interim Police Chief Jackie Stepp says the attacks appear retaliatory, but are not considered traditional gang activity. Turning overseas, Israel is rejecting a 15-point Gaza proposal, with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying Israeli forces will not withdraw until Hamas fully disarms. Netanyahu says Israel will oppose any U.S.-backed provisions it considers unacceptable, demanding what he calls genuine disarmament. Over in China, Tropical Storm Dolphin brought heavy rain to eastern China on Monday, triggering flooding in several areas after making landfall as a typhoon the previous day. Authorities are monitoring conditions as the storm continues to impact communities across the region.
Yeah, sure. So I have decided to start the process of freezing my eggs. Yeah. And in this political environment where this administration is denying reproductive care to women across the country, from abortion rights to the ability to carry out a healthy pregnancy, I think it's important for us as leaders to have these conversations and share these processes, especially for working women across the country, and normalize them.
Elsewhere in Washington, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says she decided to freeze her eggs and discuss the process publicly because of the current political climate. Speaking to ABC News, the New York Democrat said she wants to normalize conversations about fertility and reproductive care, especially for working women. Now to New York, when the operator of a boat that capsized in New York Harbor has been arrested on multiple reckless endangerment charges. Officials say the accident killed a 5-month-old baby and a 27-year-old woman, while 12 others were rescued. On the Trump front, and despite a federal appeals court ruling Friday blocking construction of his proposed $400 million ballroom, President Trump remains determined to move forward. He argues the project is necessary for national security, keeping the controversial plan in focus. Turning to a major food safety alert, and Taylor Farms is recalling more than a dozen jalapeno-containing products amid a salmonella outbreak that has sickened 345 people across 27 states. The recalled items include dips, salsas, and guacamole sold at major U.S. grocery stores. Meanwhile, Democrats are reacting to a major Michigan primary result. After progressive Dr. Abdul El Sayed's Senate primary victory, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said the Democratic Party is experiencing a time of renewal, unifying around its focus on winning in November. Meanwhile, Poland's immigration policies are drawing strong praise from some right-wing commentators who say the country is taking a tougher approach to migration. Supporters argue Poland is protecting national identity, while critics say the rhetoric oversimplifies Europe's complex immigration debate. Now to President Trump. Trump received a warm welcome from supporters at the LIV golf tournament at Trump National Golf Club Bedminster in New Jersey. The president appeared to take a break from Washington as he spent time at the event over the weekend. Meanwhile, Iran says it will impose transit fees on ships using the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman Esmail Baghaei says mechanisms will be established to monitor safe maritime transit, arguing vessels should pay for the maritime services provided. Turning to a Florida school controversy, a parent alleges a teacher nominated a conservative student for most likely to become a dictator and allowed offensive labels over his interest in World War II history and ROTC. The claims are drawing calls for accountability.
My son, 6 years old, was prohibited from sitting next to his friend on the school bus because a parent objected to my perspectives on book challenges. My older son's history teacher allowed students to label him a Nazi file simply for his interest in history and participation in ROTC. She later nominated my son as the most likely to become a dictator and had his classmates vote on it and try to force him to the front of the class to receive the certificate, which he rightly refused, all because of his conservative values and our perspectives.
And now to a media controversy. An Austin CBS reporter is drawing praise online after appearing to push back against instructions to downplay public support for President Trump and Israel's actions against Iran. The reporter said, "I am going to focus on the issue." Meanwhile, immigration tensions are playing out in Ohio. Protesters gathered outside an ICE office as Haitian migrants facing deportation proceedings await decisions on their cases. Demonstrators are opposing the government's immigration actions, while supporters are calling for stricter enforcement and deportations.